Right now, you're in tune to Daddy Fresh and Mr. T, and we have an artist with us that was born Lincoln Barrington Minott on the 25th of May 1956 in Kingston, Jamaica. He is a veteran singer, songwriter, musician, and producer. He's none other than the one and only Sugar Minott. Thanks for giving us your time today here, and welcome back to the UK.
Yeah, man, it's nice to be here, back in the UK, My place, second home away from Jamaica, always having a good vibes here and, really feel, it's a pleasure to be here right now. Yeah, representing Love is Rock.
Give thanks every time. Sugar, let me start off from where it all started for you, selling records and the sound system. Please tell us a bit about your days on sound system, as I know you played in Sound of Silence, Ketone, also Black Roots and Youth Man Promotions.
Well, I started out like, box boy, trying to carry the speakers into to dance hall to really get to stay in the dance hall. I used to stay in dance hall, listen to the last music that played before I leave, like most people who came up to the church and the choir, I started singing directly from the dance by being a selector and playing Studio One rhythm and making up songs to it from then, So it all started from there. So when I actually went to Sir Coxsone, I had my songs and everything ready, and even going through the first part of it with Tony Tough and Derek was the African Brothers, I was started out as a group,
Well, that's what I'm going to touch on now. In the year of 1969, you began your singing career as part of the African Brothers, along with Tony Tough and Derek Howard. You released several singles and the song No Cup, No Broke from Studio One. Can you tell us a bit about how this came about?
Yeah, well, we used to live on a car on Delamere Avenue, me and Tony Tough, and we used to have a yard, we call it Tony Martin Yard, where hang out yard, you always have a yard where everybody go hang out. So Tony Tough was the guy who could play the guitar, So all of us used to gather around him to see if we could, get a sing with the guitar. We was always there every night, playing old favorites from, Bob Marley, anything, So this guy came from country, Derek Howard, and said, we could make a group. So out of his contacts, because we never had no contacts, so he was the guy with the contacts, so we started a group, the African Brothers, So, it wasn't too bad, we sing culture, enough culture soon. In England we had a hit like Party Time and Torturing. It was a big hit in England, so. But, because we were singing so much culture and thing, after a while, it was strenuous on us because most of the people were trying to promote more American blending music, with Barry Salmon them time and Cynthia Slash, like Meritone music. And, so we just decided to, branch off. So, so Studio One, straight.
Okay, Sugar. You then went and teamed up with Clement, better known as Cox and Dodd, singing, playing the guitar, and as a percussionist. What was this like for you?
At Studio One, you learn to do everything, because if they need a drum and there was no drum at the time, you learn to play drum. If they need a percussionist and there was no percussionist, you become the percussionist, so it was like that, like a college,
Okay.
You're there learning, watching Coxsone, doing engineering and all them things there, So it was like that, it was like a school, Yeah, whatever. I mean, everyone said, yeah, man, it was like a school, So taxing around here and, never used to get enough money, like maybe get $20 a week for whatever you do, it was like that. So it was just being at a college working with people like, Baga and Pablo and, Freddie McGregor was there, the Silvertone, Carlton, because most of the bigger artists had already left, and the last artist at Studio One, really, from Ken Booth coming down, Dennis Brown, after Dennis Brown, Sugar Man. So it was been like at a college until the time was, came, we give them songs like Mr. DC. So I did my first album, Live Loving, Showcase, House Not a Home, songs like that over the years. And, Freddie McGregor used to sing a lot of my songs, Harmony. I used to sing a lot of his songs, until 1979, Then here come the Black Roots vibes,
After a number of hits at Studio One like Vanity, Hang On Natty, Mr. DC, and Jar Jar Children, your debut LP was released. How did this help you to get to where you are today in the reggae scene?
Well, being on Studio One, most of that goes on Studio One as the foundation label in Jamaica, where, Bob Marley coming from, Ken Booth, coming from, Delroy Wilson, Joe Higgs, it's just too much talent, all the people that I admire and people that aspire to me and people that I imitated, what I'm saying? They all come from Studio One, so it's like that's the backbone of Jamaican music, and to know that you're a part of that must be, it must be helping in the elevation right there, to know that you're a Studio One artist and man, the singer Sir Coxon, and they can show off and say, yeah man, Bob Marley from this school, and so a big thing, man, to be at first you might not see financial gain, but it comes back, comes back.
Seeing in the 1980s you had a big hit here in the UK called Hard Times Pressure. Please explain how Hard Time Pressure came about.
Well, Maxfield Park in the ghetto, struggling and suffering, you write lyrics like that, because I am really a ballad singer who like to sing love songs and things like that, that's my thing. But growing up in the ghetto and seeing the hardship, you never have time to sing about a girl and love song. Yes. So Hard Time Pressure was a hit in England just because, not of just the lyrics, but it was like a cultural lover's rock, The music, the lyrics was heavy, but the music was nice and simple. It sounded like a lover's rock at the same time, by telling the people about the struggle, but making it feel good to listen. I don't know how you could explain that, but that was all. That's the first song where I came from Jamaica with, Hard Time Pressure. Yeah, man, it was very successful.
Yeah, man, you moved over here to England and done so much more songs, but one song that I have to touch on is the cover you done to Michael Jackson's Good Thing Going. It reached number 4 here in the UK charts and done so much for your career. Just how much did it do for your career?
Yeah, man, it reached more than that too, It reached number 2. It could have reached number 1 too. It's just because of the politics, because it sell a lot over there. But the people that was quarreling for the money spoiled it up, Because when you have a big hit, everybody wants a piece of it.
For real.
But that's the bad part. The good part of it is that, I made the mark and I did my thing. People love it and that's it, Good Thing Going. And even song like The Lovers Rock, okay people, this is Lovers Rock, which is Lovers Rock. That's a more important song than Good Thing Going. Cause that's a song that starts off the whole Lovers Rock thing, like a whole history of music, you know what I'm saying? Give thanks, like Michael Jackson sing a song named Good Thing Going, Sugar Man sing it again and it. But after the time, nobody knew the song before.
For real?
Everybody thought it was my song.
Yes.
So at the same time, elevation all around, both for, Michael Jackson and Sugar Minott, and it's all good. Yeah. I did my thing and that's important. Whatever the politics of the business are, that's always there, but,
Sugar, please, if you don't